Llyod out of USC here. I can just pull his stats up here. Of course, I don't have it. Oh, here we go. Got it. 2023, 116 carries, 820 yards, 9 touchdowns, 13 receptions for 232 receiving yards, no receiving touchdowns. Coach Tyler, MarShawn Llyod, what do you think about him?
MarShawn Llyod, his transfer from USC to USC really kind of confused me more because I just got to joke that he was at USC and then went to USC. But I think he's a really good running back. His size definitely limits him to a certain role in the NFL, and his receiving game production sort of backs that up. 5'9", 220, and we see 3 receptions, 18 receptions, and then the transfer to Southern California, 13 receptions this year. He profiles as that 2-down back who's, going to get you short yards. But he's a guy that I don't love his vision. He doesn't really craft well for me. And we see a somewhat of an injury history, going through coming into college. We have a torn ACL, and then we have time missed over the last 2 years. But he is a guy that he runs aggressive enough. He's able to fight off defenders as he's running. He's not one of those touch and fall guys. But he is a guy that has the ability to, he shows a little bit of speed, shows a little bit of burst. We've got a 4.46 40 on him. So he's not the slowest back in the world. He's got a little bit of movement to him. But he's not a guy that I am overly excited about. He's someone that could develop more and kind of add some different areas to his game in the league. But he's a guy that, sort of like we talked about with Corum, except he's got a little bit more size on him. He's just, I say a little bit more weight than height, but he's just going to be one of those 2-down grinders. And if he's not in the right system, I don't think he's able to be utilized for a way that is sufficient enough for fantasy use.
Yeah, no. See, I've been somebody who's risen up on Llyod over this draft process here. If you look at his college stats, you're like, he's just an average running back, 182 yards and only one season over 600 rushing yards. Like, is he really that good of a running back? I just feel like there are some good traits I do like about him. I like the acceleration. I love the explosiveness. I love the long speed that he definitely offers in his game there. He can make defenders miss. There's some untapped, I think, potential with his pass catching ability. I don't think there was enough shown there. Overall, if you look at USC and other stats, there's some big names there, and they're just like, it wasn't really that good of a team overall. The team itself wasn't good, but certain players are being highlighted, obviously, at the NFL draft coming up this year. You're right. Vision definitely was a concern here. Again, a lot of my likeness on him was what I saw during a lot of the Senior Bowl moments. I think he did pretty well at the Combine, his pro day. But he definitely has some things that needs to work on. He's not going to be someone who is going to get yards after contact. Definitely goes down pretty easily on tackles. Pass protection could use some work, obviously, at the NFL level if he's going to make it as a potential 3-down back. It's really hard that he's going to be per se. But there is upside to his game if he's puts into the right situation. Again, the Chargers would make a lot of sense in that sense because I feel like they have their bruiser back already, a guy like Gus Edwards, and I think MarShawn Llyod could be more of that lightning guy, that big playability that he could offer at the NFL level. But I have him as my RB5. Maybe I'm a little too high on him personally. I can admit that when I'm wrong. But I think the explosiveness that he offers excites me a lot there. So that's why I have him at my RB5 currently. So, all right, Kyle.